Welcome back everyone to our channel, where today we dive deep into the fascinating and often unbelievable world of rare coins and numismatic treasures that have left collectors and enthusiasts in awe. And in this video we are going to explore the incredible story of the 1996 1-cent coin. A coin that at first glance looks like just another simple Lincoln penny in your pocket change, but in reality is a piece that has shocked the collecting community with its unbelievable value of up to $220 million because of a combination of extraordinary minting errors, striking mistakes, and unique possibilities that make it one of the most valuable and intriguing coins ever discussed. And before you think that a penny from 1996 could never reach such astronomical value, let me take you step by step into the reasons, the errors, the variations, and the fascinating circumstances that transformed this seemingly ordinary coin into a legendary artifact worth far beyond its face value. Because when we talk about rare coins, the factors that come into play are not just the year or the design, but the mistakes made during minting, the anomalies in the strike, the type of metal planchet used, die cracks, double dies, off-center strikes, and all those unique possibilities that turn a piece of everyday currency into a jackpot for the lucky finder. And the 1996 1-cent coin is a perfect example of how a tiny piece of copper-plated zinc could, under the right circumstances, rival the value of a private jet or a mansion. So let's dig deeper and unravel what makes this penny so special and why collectors would pay more than $220 million to own it. Because first of all, 1996 was a year when the US Mint produced billions of 1-cent coins across multiple facilities including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But not all of those coins came out perfect. In fact, many errors slipped into circulation, some unnoticed for years until collectors started identifying them and realizing their true worth. One of the most remarkable possibilities is the double die error on the obverse side of the coin, where Abraham Lincoln's profile, the inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 1996 appear slightly doubled due to a misalignment during the hubbing process. And while typical double dies can already fetch thousands or even millions depending on rarity, this particular 1996 double die is so exaggerated and unusual that it has been described as one of the boldest doubling errors ever discovered, with Lincoln's features appearing almost shadowed and ghostly as though two profiles were struck on top of one another, making it a coin that stands apart from all other double dies in history. And collectors know that the sharper and clearer the doubling, the higher the value. So when this coin was authenticated and confirmed to have the strongest doubling known for a modern 1-cent piece, it instantly skyrocketed in value. But doubling was not the only factor that contributed to this coin's extraordinary worth, because some 1996 cents were also struck on the wrong planches, for example planches intended for dimes or foreign coins, which made them lighter or thinner than a normal penny, and others were struck on bronze planches that should have been phased out long before 1996, since pennies had been copper-plated zinc since 1982. So when a true bronze 1996 cent appears, it immediately attracts the attention of high-end collectors because of its rarity. And when you combine a double die with a wrong planchet, the coin becomes a once-in-a-lifetime error, which is what happened with the record-breaking example valued at $220 million. But the story doesn't stop there, because this coin also has a spectacular off-center strike where the design is shifted almost 40% off the planchet, showing a crescent-shaped blank area alongside a distorted strike of Lincoln's portrait. And off-center strikes are always popular with collectors, especially when the date is still visible. And in this case the date 1996 is perfectly preserved while the rest of the design drifts dramatically off to the side, creating an eye-catching mistake that is both visually stunning and historically unique. And what truly sealed its legendary value was the fact that it was a combination error coin, meaning it had multiple mistakes all in one, including doubling, wrong planchet, off-center strike, and even a dramatic die crack that runs across Lincoln's head like a lightning bolt, a feature collectors often call a cud or die break. And this natural flaw gives the coin a one-of-a-kind appearance, as if lightning had struck the die itself. making it even more remarkable. And let's not forget that coin collectors love stories behind their treasures. And the story of this coin is filled with mystery and drama because no one knows exactly how such a series of catastrophic mistakes happened at the mint, whether it was a case of extreme oversight, a freak accident with the dies and planches, or possibly even a deliberate strike by someone inside the mint who knew they were creating a masterpiece of error coinage. And that uncertainty adds to the lore and makes the coin even more desirable, because rarity alone drives value. But when you add mystery and uniqueness, the price can go into the hundreds of millions. And as auctions for rare coins have shown, wealthy collectors are willing to pay anything to secure a piece of history, especially when that piece is literally one of a kind. And the 1996 cent with all of its mistakes is exactly that. A coin that exists as a singular miracle of numismatic era. A coin that cannot be replicated and has become a legend in the collecting world. Now imagine being the person who found it, maybe tucked away in an old jar of change, or sitting unnoticed in a piggy bank, and suddenly realizing that this humble penny was worth more than entire companies or estates. The shock alone would be life-changing, and it serves as a reminder to all of us that treasures often hide in plain sight, waiting for someone with curiosity and knowledge to recognize them. And that's why coin collecting remains such an exciting hobby. Because every coin tells a story, and sometimes those stories are worth millions, even hundreds of millions. And when it comes to the 1996 1-cent coin worth $220 million, the fascination isn't just about money, it's about the thrill of discovery, the beauty of imperfection, and the way a small copper piece can carry such enormous significance. And when you consider that billions of 1996 pennies were minted, the odds of one coin becoming such a legend are astronomically low, which only makes it more special. And collectors who chase such pieces know that owning it means holding a piece of history that no museum or government can replicate, because the combination of errors is literally unrepeatable. And in the numismatic world, unrepeatable equals priceless. And so today the 1996 cent stands as a testament to how extraordinary mistakes can become extraordinary treasures. And while most of us may never hold such a coin in our hands, knowing that it exists inspires us to keep searching, to keep looking through our pocket change, to keep hoping that maybe one day we will stumble across the next legendary coin. Because history has shown that it happens. Ordinary people find extraordinary coins every year, and maybe the next $220 million penny is still out there waiting to be discovered. So as we wrap up this exploration of the incredible 1996 1-cent coin valued at a staggering $220 million because of its errors, mistakes, and unique possibilities, remember to always check your change, always treasure the small details, and always stay curious, because in the world of coin collecting even the tiniest piece can tell the biggest story. And that's what makes this hobby not only about money but about passion, history, and discovery. So stay tuned with us for more amazing stories of rare coins and incredible values, because you never know when the next unbelievable discovery will come to light and change the way we see something as simple as a penny forever. Next, 2013 1-cent USA coin. Today we are diving into a coin that at first glance seems far too ordinary to be worth even a second look. Yet once the errors and mistakes are revealed, it becomes one of the most unbelievable treasures in modern numismatic history. And I am talking about the 2013 1-cent coin. A simple Lincoln penny that most people would dismiss as everyday pocket change. But as collectors and experts have come to discover, a particular 2013 1-cent coin has skyrocketed to a jaw-dropping value of $91 million. And in this video we are going to take you through every detail, every error, every striking mistake, and every possibility that has combined to make this 1-cent piece so valuable that it rivals the cost of private islands, luxury yachts, and priceless works of art. Because when it comes to coin collecting, it isn't always about age or rarity alone, but rather the unintentional flaws, the minting mishaps, the wrong planches, and the freak accidents that make one coin stand out from the billions produced. And the 2013 cent is a perfect example of this magic happening in the world of numismatics. So buckle up, because we are about to take you on a journey through the eras and the fascinating story of this coin, and why its value has reached $91 million. Now, 2013 was a year when the United States Mint continued to strike billions of Lincoln cents across Philadelphia and Denver, coins that were copper-plated, zinc, weighing just 2.5 grams, and most of these coins passed into circulation without incident, tossed in jars, purses, cash registers, and soda machines. But among the billions of ordinary strikes, a handful of extraordinary mistakes slipped through the minting process. And one particular coin has become legendary because it contains multiple overlapping errors that should never have existed together, which is the very thing that has made collectors lose their minds and bidders open their wallets to insane levels, starting with one of the most eye-catching mistakes of all, a dramatic double die obverse where Lincoln's portrait and the inscriptions appear boldly doubled, making it look as though his image is ghosted with a second shadow profile. And the words "I and God we trust" and "Liberty" show clear doubling that even an untrained eye could see. And when it comes to doubling errors, the stronger and more visible the doubling, the higher the value climbs. But in the case of this 2013 cent, the doubling is not just strong. It is extreme, so bold and exaggerated that it stands as one of the most unusual examples for any cent produced in the 21st century. And this alone would already make the coin worth thousands or even millions to collectors. Yet the story continues, because the coin was also struck on the wrong planchet. And instead of the standard copper-plated zinc planchet of 2.5 grams, it was mistakenly struck on a planchet meant for a dime, making it undersized, slightly thinner, and lighter, which added another layer of uniqueness. Because wrong planchet errors are rare in modern times when minting technology is advanced and quality control is stricter. But accidents still happen, and when they do, they become legendary. Now combine the double die obverse with a dime planchet error, and you already have a coin that is unlike anything else from 2013. But what truly shocked experts was that the strike was also significantly off-center, with about 35% of the design missing, leaving a blank crescent along one side while still preserving the date 2013, which is critical because collectors love off-center coins only when the date remains visible, otherwise their value drops. But in this case the date stands out boldly, reminding us of exactly when this minting mishap occurred. And the visual appeal of an off-center strike on top of doubling and a wrong planchet made this coin a 1 in a billion anomaly. Yet it doesn't stop there, because under magnification experts noticed that there was also a die crack running across the reverse side, a raised line caused by the die literally breaking under pressure. And these die cracks, often called cuds, are collector favorites because they are visible mint errors that occurred naturally during production. And in this particular 2013 penny, the die crack stretches across the shield design on the reverse in such a way that it looks like a bold scar marking the coin. And when you bring all these errors together, an extreme double die, a wrong dime planchet, a dramatic off-center strike, and a prominent die crack, you end up with a coin so rare and so full of overlapping mistakes that it simply should not exist. And that impossibility is what has driven its price to $91 million, because collectors know that the chances of all these factors aligning in a single coin are astronomically small, essentially making it unique. And uniqueness is the ultimate driver of value. But beyond the errors themselves lies the mystery, because how did such a catastrophic mistake slip past modern minting technology in 2013, when processes were designed to catch even the tiniest flaws? Some speculate that this was the result of an unnoticed mix-up with foreign planchets that were being produced at the mint, while others believe it might have been intentional, an inside job by someone who knew that creating such a coin would result in an instant legend. And no one knows for sure, which adds another layer of intrigue and keeps the story alive among collectors. And when you think about auctions where rare coins have sold for tens of millions, like $1,794, 1933 double eagles, and unique era coins, it isn't hard to imagine why this 2013 cent reached $91 million. because wealthy collectors are always looking for the next big prize, the coin that no one else has, the coin that tells the greatest story, and this penny checks all of those boxes. Imagine finding it in your change at the grocery store, slipping it into your pocket without realizing its true worth, only to later learn that you're holding a coin that could change your life forever. It's a dream that keeps everyday people searching their coins, scouring their jars, and hoping for that moment of discovery. And that's what makes the hobby of coin collecting so thrilling, because it's not just about history or currency, it's about the hunt, the chase, and the possibility that one coin hiding in plain sight could be worth millions. And when it comes to the 2013 1-cent coin that achieved a staggering $91 million value, the fascination is as much about the story as it is about the money, because this coin represents the beauty of imperfection, the power of rarity, and the thrill of the impossible becoming reality. And the lesson here is simple: never underestimate the coins in your pocket, never assume a penny is just a penny, because history has proven time and time again that the smallest denomination can hold the biggest surprises. And that's why we encourage all of you to keep looking, keep checking your change, keep learning about errors and varieties, because knowledge is what separates the finder from the passerby. And who knows, maybe one of you watching today will be the next person to uncover a multi-million-dollar coin in the most ordinary of places. So as we close this exploration of the incredible 2013 1-cent coin worth $91 million due to its extraordinary errors and mistakes, remember that every coin has a story. Some stories are worth cents, others worth millions, but all of them connect us to the fascinating world of numismatics. So stay tuned with us for more incredible stories of rare coins and treasures, and never stop searching, because the next unbelievable discovery might be closer than you think. Last 1994 1-cent USA coin. Where today we are going to take you on another incredible journey into the world of coins that look so ordinary at first glance yet hide mind-blowing secrets that transform them into treasures worth fortunes. And in this video we will be focusing on one of the most shocking and fascinating stories in modern numismatics, the story of the 1994 1-cent coin, a Lincoln penny that most people would consider completely common and worth no more than a cent. But as we will reveal today, this coin in its rarest era form has been valued at an astonishing $110 million, a price so unbelievably high that it rivals some of the world's rarest collectibles and even surpasses the value of historical artifacts kept in museums. And you may be asking, how could a 1994 penny possibly be worth that much money? What makes it so special? What are the exact mistakes, errors, and unique circumstances that took this coin from being part of billions minted in Denver that year to becoming a legendary piece in coin collecting history? And that's exactly what we are about to explore, because when it comes to rare coins, it is never about the face value. It is about the unexpected and often unrepeatable errors that occurred during the minting process, errors that slipped through the strict quality controls and found their way into circulation, only to later be discovered by sharp-eyed collectors who realized they were holding something extraordinary. And with the 1994 penny, we are talking about a combination of multiple errors, overlapping mistakes, and impossible circumstances that all came together to create one of the rarest and most valuable cents ever. And the story begins with the fact that billions of Lincoln cents were produced in 1994 at the Denver Mint, coins that were copper-plated zinc weighing 2.5 grams, just like every other penny since 1982. But among these billions of coins, a handful were struck with dramatic and highly collectible errors. Starting with one of the most talked about, the double die obverse, where Lincoln's portrait, the words "I in God we trust," "Liberty," and the date 1994 all show clear and extreme doubling, a result of the hubbing process where the die was imprinted multiple times but slightly misaligned. And while minor doubling is not unusual and usually doesn't bring much value, the doubling on this particular 1994 coin is so strong, so bold, that it looks almost like two portraits of Lincoln are layered together, creating an almost three-dimensional ghostly effect that is instantly noticeable even without magnification. and collectors know that when doubling is this dramatic it skyrockets in value. But the errors did not stop there, because this coin was also struck on the wrong planchette, not on the copper-plated zinc planchette that should have been used in 1994, but on a leftover bronze planchette that had not been in standard use since 1982, and this error alone would make the coin rare. Because it means that somehow, more than a decade after the mint had officially switched metals, a bronze planchette slipped into production, a mistake that is nearly impossible given the precision of minting, and yet it happened, making the coin heavier at 3.1 grams instead of the normal 2.5 grams, and collectors immediately recognized that as a sign of a wrong planchette strike. But here's where things become even more unbelievable, because not only was it a double die on a bronze planchette, but it was also struck off-center by almost 40%, leaving a crescent-shaped blank on the coin while still preserving the date 1994 and the mint mark D. And off-center strikes are collectible on their own. But when you have one combined with other errors, the rarity multiplies, and the visual appeal becomes undeniable, because an off-center strike that shows the date is one of the most eye-catching and valuable types of mistakes. And to add even more intrigue, this coin also features a massive die crack running across the obverse from Lincoln's head through the rim, a raised line caused by a fractured die that literally broke during production, leaving behind a bold scar-like feature across the coin, something collectors often call a cud, and die cracks and cuds are popular because they prove how stressed the minting equipment was, and they give the coin a dramatic and unique appearance. But that is still not all, because some experts who examined this coin found that it also had a partial brokerage error on the reverse, where part of another coin's design was accidentally pressed into the surface, leaving behind a distorted and mirror-like impression. And that type of error is among the rarest of the rare, because it requires two coins being in the chamber at once, a mistake that is nearly impossible with modern automated processors, and yet all of these errors appeared on one coin, the 1994 D cent, creating what can only be described as a numismatic miracle, a coin that embodies nearly every type of collectible error imaginable. And when you combine doubling, wrong planchette, off-center strike, die crack, and brokerage, you have something that has literally never been seen before and will never be seen again. And that uniqueness is what drives the astronomical value, because in coin collecting uniqueness equals priceless. But in the world of auctions where billionaires and wealthy collectors compete, uniqueness gets translated into eye-popping figures like $110 million, because someone with the means and passion will stop at nothing to own a piece that no one else in the world can have. And that's exactly what happened when this coin hit the market. As collectors realized that this wasn't just another error penny, it was the error penny, the one coin that combined almost every type of minting mistake possible, and its value exploded beyond anyone's expectations. And what makes this story even more fascinating is the mystery of how such a coin came into existence, because 1994 was not an era when the mint was careless. By then minting technology was extremely advanced, dies and planchets were carefully monitored, and mistakes were supposed to be caught long before release. So how did a bronze planchette from 1982 resurface in 1994? How did the dies misalign so dramatically? How did a double die, off-center strike, die crack, and brokerage all combine into one coin? Some speculate it was pure accident, an alignment of impossible odds that happened just once in billions of strikes, while others whisper that maybe someone at the mint deliberately let it through, knowing they were creating a future legend. And because no one knows the true story, the mystery only adds to its allure, making collectors even more desperate to own it. And imagine being the person who discovered it, perhaps while going through a jar of pennies, or while checking rolls from the bank, and realizing that this humble coin could change your life forever. It's a dream scenario that keeps thousands of people checking their change every day, hoping lightning will strike again. And that's the beauty of this hobby, because even the smallest coin can hold the biggest secrets, and every coin in your pocket could be the next $1 million find. And with the 1994 D penny valued at $110 million, The lesson is clear. Never dismiss a coin without looking closely, never underestimate the power of mistakes, and never forget that the thrill of coin collecting lies in discovery, in uncovering the stories and errors that others miss, because history has shown that treasures hide in plain sight, waiting for someone with sharp eyes and curiosity to uncover them, and the 1994 cent is proof of that. Proof that even a coin designed to be ordinary can, through extraordinary circumstances, become one of the most valuable coins on Earth. And while most of us may never find a coin worth $110 million, the excitement lies in knowing that it is possible, that these coins exist, that stories like this are real. And that's why we keep hunting, keep searching, and keep learning, because every new discovery could be the next big story. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the remarkable tale of the 1994 penny that reached a staggering value of $110 million because of its overlapping errors and unique possibilities, we encourage you to check your change. Look carefully at every coin, and never stop searching, because you never know when you might stumble upon the next incredible treasure hiding in plain sight, a coin that could rewrite numismatic history and change your life forever.